Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. I am Abigail McIntyre. Coming up in the news, RGPF dismisses false social media claims on overseas allowances, and government and Marley residents join forces to deliver new road in St. Patrick. Details to these stories and more after the break.
The official Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1 to November 30. Are you ready? Have a family emergency plan. Stock up on supplies. Follow official alerts. Do not rely on rumors. Prepared communities are stronger communities, but preparedness begins with you.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA.
To meet the growing water demand in the south of the island, NAWASA, in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank through the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, is implementing the Southern St. George's Water Supply Expansion Project. This project is designed to improve water quality, ensure a consistent supply, and protect our environment for future generations. We are upgrading our water supply system by replacing aging infrastructure, constructing new storage tanks, and installing advanced monitoring equipment. There will be dust, noise, and traffic inconveniences. We appreciate your patience during the construction phase. We believe in the power of community engagement. Your voice matters. Your input is essential. Want to learn more? Get involved. Attend our public meetings. Follow us on NAWASA's social media and share your feedback. Reliable, safe drinking water means a healthier, better quality of life for all. Together, we're securing a better water future for Grenada. Join us on this journey. This project is made possible through the collaborative efforts of the Government of Grenada, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office of the United Kingdom, with grant funding from the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund.
Welcome back. The Royal Grenada Police Force vehemently refutes claims in circulation on social media, stating that the force, in conjunction with the Government of Grenada, is requesting selected members attending overseas courses to accept a reduced subsistence. The RGPF advises it has not been made aware of any variation to fixed allowances provided to officers traveling on overseas courses. The organization continues to engage in open and transparent communication with officers, guided by integrity, professionalism, and ethical standards of the force. As such, investigations will be initiated into the matter to determine the origin of these claims and the intentions of this misleading post. Appropriate actions will be taken based on the conclusion of the investigation. Furthermore, members of the public are hereby reminded that they should only accept information from the Office of the Commissioner of Police and other credible sources. The Ministry of Education will soon embark on enhancing the curriculum for lower secondary schools, supported by funding from the Global Partnership for Education, also known as GPE, administered by the World Bank. Through the Windward Islands Sector Transformation for Learning Enhancement (WHISTLE) project, the Windward Islands have been allocated a total of $10 million, with Grenada set to receive approximately $2.5 million. According to Mrs. Lorraine St. Louis Ned, Permanent Secretary with responsibility for educational administration, the curriculum development work will be carried out over a 4-year period. She shared the update during a recent press conference held by the ministry.
We are also pleased to say that we recently signed on to what is called the WHISTLE project, which is a Windward Islands Sector Transformation for Learning Enhancement project, a $10 million US system transformation grant by the Global Partnership for Education, and it is supported by the World Bank. Now that project will see us successfully implementing an enhanced curriculum and assessment strategy for lower secondary schools. It is Windward Islands Transformation project. So I have to say up front that the entire $10 million does not belong to Grenada, but we have a portion of it our portion is in the region of $2.5 million. And so we are very, very happy to be beginning the process of implementing. The implementation stretches over a period of 4 years. And so by the end of that period, you will see a new curriculum in lower secondary schools.
The Whistle project also benefits Dominica, St. Lucia, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which will undertake similar education enhancement initiatives. In the second week of parish consultations for the 2026 national budget, participants were eager to provide their recommendations and suggestions towards the upcoming budget. Last evening, consultation was held at the St. George's Anglican Senior School, Hindesy.
I work at MCC and I'm in the technical department where we offer skill training, right? And one of the challenges that we have in that area, especially, is the availability of resources. So a lot of the time we talk about skills training and technical and vocational training. And we may implement, we may develop framework, we develop course outlines and so forth. But one of the main challenge we have is the availability of the resources to actually deliver those skills. As you know, with traditional education, you don't really require a lot. You have the textbook and you have your projectors and so forth and you deliver it. But if we're talking about things like welding or we're talking about auto mechanic and so forth, then we need the vehicle. We actually need those resources to actually work on. And that is an area that we are lacking in. And given the fact that we have more and more hybrid vehicles coming in Grenada or electric vehicles in Grenada, I'm not too sure if we have any institution or that is actually currently focusing on that, so that when these vehicles need the servicing or probably start to give problem, where are they going to turn, what are they going to turn to? So my recommendation, I'm not too sure if it's already included in the budget or if you all have thought about that, but is to assist in providing that in terms of capacity building for our current lecturers, whatever training that is needed, and in also assisting and providing the actual resources that is actually needed to provide these services.
We seem like more emphasis being placed on like better drainage, because like when the roads are being built, they like get damaged due to the lack of proper drainage. So if there's a way that it can be worked on, so we can have our roads being lasting longer.
There seem to be a deficit or an absence of what we can term made in Grenada, where local artifacts are concerned. So when a visitor comes to Grenada, right, whether by cruise tourism or still visitor, what does he or she take away from Grenada, right, as a physical example or artifact that is produced or that are produced by Grenadians, right, made in Grenada, not made in China or elsewhere? I believe that the government needs to pay more attention to that area, meaning the artisans, craft people, right, and not just cuisine, because there's a lot of that. Right?
We got some new roads in True Blue. They said it's new roads, but like, I just wish my minister was here, Mr. Andy William. And the water, when you get to the Coast Guard, it's like the same thing is happening. I still have to take people from point A to point B because it's terrible. How could you build a road and not proper drainage? That doesn't make sense to me at all. The same problem we are having. And I would like to see something is done because I know it costs us taxpayers money.
And I see too much abuse, alcohol people is on the beach, especially women. When they drink the alcohol, they strip naked and, too much abusers get on the beach. And I would like to know when this Carlton House will be in place that people like these people could go there and recoup and to come out from this alcohol business. It's too much, especially on grand dance. Women stripping naked when they drink the alcohol, and men as young people, and is abused.
Consultations continue this evening in St. Andrew at the St. Andrew's Methodist School starting at 6 p.m. The Ministry of Finance team will then journey to the sister isle of Carriacou for the final consultation at the Bishop's College. You're watching the GIS News. Stay with us. More stories after the break.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a step. So the journey of a year begins with but a sec. 1 second is the difference between old and new. The difference between what you have done and what you have to do. 1 second is the difference between who you were and who you are going to be. The difference between a year of expectations and a year of memories. Awaiting you is a year of opportunities and new moves. Just one final second to reflect. And then we must embrace indeed. I reckon 1 second is all we need.
To meet the growing water demand in the south of the island, NAWASA, in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank through the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, is implementing the Southern St. George's Water Supply Expansion Project. This project is designed to improve water quality, ensure a consistent supply, and protect our environment for future generations. We are upgrading our water supply system by replacing aging infrastructure, constructing new storage tanks, and installing advanced monitoring equipment. There will be dust, noise, and traffic inconveniences. We appreciate your patience during the construction phase. We believe in the power of community engagement. Your voice matters. Your input is essential. Want to learn more? Get involved. Attend our public meetings. Follow us on NAWASA's social media and share your feedback. Reliable, safe drinking water means a healthier, better quality of life for all. Together, we're securing a better water future for Grenada. Join us on this journey. This project is made possible through the collaborative efforts of the Government of Grenada, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office of the United Kingdom, with grant funding from the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund.
Welcome back. Residents of Marley St. Patrick are singing songs of praises as they celebrate the official commissioning of the Tulumbe Byroad, now renamed Williams Lane. The story of this road is one of resilience and unity. Determined to improve their community, residents pooled their resources to begin the work themselves, digging and grading the area with their own finances. The efforts caught the attention of government, which stepped in to complete the project in just 1 month. Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West, the Honorable Joseph Andel, commended the people of Mali for their vision and initiative.
I wish to commend the people of this area here for being proactive, for not sitting down and wait for manna to fall from the sky. Because if we did not know better, we would not understand all of the efforts put in by the residents of this area to make this first a navigable track and finally now a motorable road, better than many of the main roads in Grenada. The residents organized themselves and got a machine, which they paid for, to excavate what is now the beautiful road that we are standing on and looking at. And they must be commended for that. However, in spite of that great effort, the fact that it was not paved meant that in the rainy season, it was really a swamp, a quagmire, and very, very difficult to navigate. They went beyond that and raised funds among themselves and purchased and had installed a cross culvert. Again, an example for communities throughout Grenada. They got to the point where, having done all of that, they needed further intervention. And that was how my office became involved.
Minister Andel explained that this initiative is part of government's wider commitment to improving infrastructure across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. He noted that St. Patrick West has also benefited from several such projects.
Not too long ago, just a little down the road and to my left, a lovely stretch of road in Jahul was completed. We did not have a ceremony similar to this one. But if we decided to have a ceremony for every road that we open in St. Patrick West, we'll probably have to dedicate a whole month, because a lot of infrastructure work is being done in our constituency. We have been building roads in Darby, in Snell Hall, in Hermitage, here in Marley. On the other side of Marley, we have been widening the roads. In Sotez Town, if you drive on the road before the recent works being done by Nawasa, you'd believe that you're driving on a highway. This is the first time in many, many years that the main roads of St. Patrick are in very, very good condition. And that is because we are looking after the infrastructure of this parish. We recognize, we understand that there is a lot more to be done, but we give you our full commitment to continue to work with you, for you, to make sure that St. Patrick is top, not just on the map, but in every other way possible.
Local resident Reginald Charles described the new road as a major upliftment for the community.
And I give thanks for really standing in this road too, as a member of the community, knowing the hardship we have, especially Ben John him up in the back there, so we give thanks for infrastructure. We give thanks for the government playing their part, because politics is really about people, and better stand up living for people, and uplifting people. And with the road infrastructure, could have many things going on, many development. Road is critical, So we give thanks and praise for the road and I within the community, and my neighbors, Abby and them there, yeah. That they get a step, I get a proper place to go down on different things. So everything does right in the community as well.
The Ministry of the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs held its first engagement with CMOS farmers last Tuesday as part of efforts to improve local CMOS production and ensure quality standards. Delivering the feature address, Minister for the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, the Honorable Lennox Andrews, highlighted the importance of forming strong, productive cooperatives and pledged government's financial and technical support.
So it is good for our people to take the initiative to work on their own and to help themselves. And from where we sit as government, what we want to do is to facilitate, make it easy for you to do your work and to earn a decent income and improve your lives. Right? And I see the CMOS business as one such business where individuals can take initiative and work on their own and earn their own income.
One of the main objectives of the one-day engagement was to educate farmers on the benefits of having a well-organized, fully functional cooperative to ensure effective representation on the national level. Minister Andrews encouraged farmers to invest in creative marketing strategies to ensure that the demand for their products remains high.
And you need to know the science of not just producing CMOS, but how to market and to export and to make money and to make that a very strong business. And we are prepared to provide you with whatever technical assistance that you may need, whatever financial support that you may need, whatever guidance that you may need to build a strong CMOS industry.
The over 50 farmers present welcomed the opportunity to voice their concerns and make suggestions for strengthening the CMOS industry.
I think what we needed would be things like a CVQ certified training. So I know in St. Lucia, for example, well, as far as I understand, many of the farmers, they're actually certified. Now, when we sell our CMOS, people like to know what's the level of certification that the people who are producing this have, right? So I'm thinking that we really want to get to the point where we can have some certified training for CMOS farmers.
One of our concerns is the road. The road is dilapidated. Getting somebody to bring up his CMOS from there, sometimes they're concerned about the tire being burst and so on. There's also a cottage down there, and the gentleman that owns the cottage has a lot of tires in the water.
Well, as for canoe, we need a road badly because it's down a hill, very treacherous and very difficult to come up with 10 bags of CMOS. 2 in your hand and 1 on your head. It's not funny. I can show you pictures. So what we do now is we try to make the road passable, but we need machinery to come.
This session included presentations from the National Insurance Scheme, the Grenada Cooperative League, and the Department of Cooperatives. The Carriacou village will now be known as Carriacou House. After 2 weeks of celebrating Caribbean culture and creativity in the temporary village, Prime Minister of Barbados, Honorable Mia Motley, announced that the space will remain a permanent feature on the island. It will now serve as a home to showcase the art and heritage of the Caribbean region.
And you, my people, have spoken definitively in the last week. You have said, Prime Minister, do not take down Carriacou village. And I am here to report to you as a faithful and obedient servant that that village shall now be known hereinafter as Carriacou House, to celebrate the arts and creativity of Caribbean people forever. At Newton, you see the beginnings of the Heritage District. And my friends, Bajans would know this better than most, because when you couldn't do it all at once, we would take a little bit and put down and put down and put down and put down. And you buy some blocks and you build out the wall at the back. And you come forward and you come forward and you come forward. And over the last 6 years, I have worked with the Ministry of Finance little by little by little to make sure that what you will soon see unfold at Newton will be the Heritage District, starting with the monument celebrating the lives and resilience of the 570 slaves that were buried on that plantation, reflecting the construction of the National Performing Arts Center. And it was appropriate that the first production therein was Mansa Musa, celebrating the great kingdom of Mali and Mansa Musa from Africa. And that the second production was that in tribute to our own Irving Burgee, not just the writer of the Barbados Anthem, but indeed the great prolific Caribbean songwriter with songs like Deo and Jamaica Farewell and Island in the Sun.
Prime Minister Motley stressed that this year's hosting of Carriacou was more than just about shows and events. She described it as a strategic move toward protecting what is uniquely Caribbean.
You must understand that this Carriacou 15 does not stand in isolation. This is about building a people, building a region, building a civilization, and reclaiming our destiny. Irving Burgee asked us to do so. And our national anthem is perfectly reflected for those who come from the rest of the region. I ask you to take time and see why we are so committed to moving onward and upward, inspired, exultant, free, why we must be firm craftsmen of our fate.
Since its establishment in 1952 in Puerto Rico, Carifesta has grown from a gathering of writers and artists into a grand celebration of all forms of art and culture. For Barbados, the hosting of Carifesta sparked a renewed national focus on promoting culture and heritage, making this year's celebration especially meaningful to the island's people.
We have been lucky to recognize that when we first hosted Carifesta in 1981, the major benefit to the country, and most Bajans do not recognize or remember this, was the passage of the National Cultural Foundation Act in 1983, giving us the National Cultural Foundation that has been responsible for creating opportunities for Bajan creatives for over 40 years, and making sure that our crop over, our NIFCA, and all of our other cultural events in the season of emancipation and outside have gone from strength to strength. We benefited then from a lifting of our ecosystem, the sound, the lighting, the practitioners, and crop over became something majestic, rather than that festival that others wanted to laugh at and say it was only for tourists and that Bajans had no culture and that Bajans can sing calypso. Tell Barbados that 42 years later after Carifesta 1981. But I say to you tonight that what we exhibited and what we then saw over the last 10 days has made it pellucidly clear that our people want more. That life, yes, must give us shelter and food and work. Those are essential. But as human beings, we need the nourishing of the soul. And whether it is through acknowledging our heritage, or whether it is through reflecting on our Caribbean civilization, or whether it is through tasting the wonders that we have as Caribbean people with the influences from the world that made us unique, or whether it is in the celebration through movement, dance, music, art, craft, we have to be able to nourish our souls.
From all indications, the staging of Carifesta 15 in Barbados was a tremendous success.
So I ask you now, the people of the Caribbean, was this Carifesta 15 a great exposition of Caribbean culture? In my previous profession, I would say the jury has spoken.
You're watching the GIS News. More after the break.
The official Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1 to November 30. Are you ready? Have a family emergency plan. Stock up on supplies. Follow official alerts. Do not rely on rumors. Prepared communities are stronger communities, but preparedness begins with you.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency, NADMA.
To meet the growing water demand in the south of the island, NAWASA, in collaboration with the Caribbean Development Bank through the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, is implementing the Southern St. George's Water Supply Expansion Project. This project is designed to improve water quality, ensure a consistent supply, and protect our environment for future generations. We are upgrading our water supply system by replacing aging infrastructure, constructing new storage tanks, and installing advanced monitoring equipment. There will be dust, noise, and traffic inconveniences. We appreciate your patience during the construction phase. We believe in the power of community engagement. Your voice matters. Your input is essential. Want to learn more? Get involved. Attend our public meetings. Follow us on NAWASA's social media and share your feedback. Reliable, safe drinking water means a healthier, better quality of life for all. Together, we're securing a better water future for Grenada. Join us on this journey. This project is made possible through the collaborative efforts of the Government of Grenada, the Caribbean Development Bank, and the Foreign and Commonwealth Development Office of the United Kingdom, with grant funding from the UK Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund.
Welcome back. Fresh off the heels of Spice Mass 2025, dubbed the best mass by far, Greens United Mass Band is once again preparing to represent Grenada at Eastern Parkway, Brooklyn, New York for the annual Labor Day Parade. In an exclusive interview with GIS, band leader Winston Lang outlined the group's plans for this year's celebration.
We're bringing a taste of spice to New York City for Labor Day. So as everyone knows, Spice Mass 2025 was insane. So we, being the only Grenadian truck on the road to represent our culture here in New York City, we are coming to represent on Eastern Parkway on Labor Day Monday, and we're coming to showcase Greens.
Now in its 14th year, Greens United has built a reputation for dominating the parkway with the authenticity and spirit of Grenadian mass. Lang explained what sets the band apart.
What's different about Greens United is that we are very cultural. We have short knee section, we have Monday Night Mass section, we have costumes. We do everything, and we just try to bring all our culture together for Labor Day on the road on Monday, and yeah, we just try to bring our Grenada culture that we know from back home and bring it up here.
Greens United remains a favorite on the Labor Day Road, bringing the vibes, energy, and creativity of Spice Mass to thousands of spectators in New York.
Oh man, we are very loved in the Grenadian community, and also outside of the Grenadian community. Like a lot of the other countries or a lot of other streamers look for us to repost their work, or they look to us to promote. And they know that we have a following. They know that we always bring the vibes. We're involved in a lot of things, and we do the mass. We're involved in a lot of events, and this being our 14th year, we're celebrating 15 next year, and it's going to be different for 2026. We're like open door. We try to bring it up for all the artists that's coming up, that's trending from Grenada, so we could showcase them in front of millions and millions of people. And it's just open door for all our artists that's coming up. Our DJs, like we have Short Leg coming up, we have Beast coming up, Kingpin, just to name a few that's coming from Grenada, Carriacou, Pinimani to come up to represent with Greens United and push the Grenada culture on the road for Labor Day.
And finally, in the news, participants of the recently concluded Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping STCW course in Carriacou have expressed deep satisfaction with the program. They described the training as life-changing, exciting, and directly applicable to everyday life. The STCW course is designed to provide participants with essential knowledge and intentionally recognized certification, opening doors to careers at sea. More than 20 individuals from Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and mainland Grenada successfully completed the training.
STCW training. It's been an exciting week of training for myself along with the participants of this training. I want to say special thanks to the organizers for putting on this program. I believe that is essential for programs like these and even others to be continued, and for persons here to get an opportunity to be a part of them. As the information you gathered in this training not only covers the scope of the work, but it transcends into our everyday life. I believe each participant here today will leave here more equipped and confident to handle the everyday experiences in regards to safety, first response, in case of emergencies and so on. So again, I believe that the training was well delivered and well received by the participants. And I would like to say thank you again for the opportunity to be a part of this training.
I've been searching for the STCW for at least 4 years, asking friends of location, tell me I have to go Trinidad, 5,000, how much money I'll spend 2 weeks over there to do the training. I get a job, my boss tell me we have a SCC training up here. I made a phone call, the guy told me, yo, it's full, you can't make it. I did over the phone, I'm crying. I said, bro, this will help me change my life, give me a better part in life because everything is haywire down in the island. And he gave me the opportunity. I got a text message Saturday morning. They're on a boat on the way to Carriacou to get the opportunity to change my life. I reached up here. The experience was crazy nice. I learned so much of stuff. And I wanted to say thank you to the minister, thank you to the captain, the next guy, the trainer guy. Thank you very much for the experience. And I'm going to go down home and encourage all of my young friends that there's an opportunity outside here other than other stuff.
The STCW course, well, I would say was very educational for me and my colleagues. You know, we learn certain things that we mightn't learn again, but still, you know. Yeah. So I would like to say thank you to Mr. George and Mr. Russell. You know, the class was a bit challenging because some of us, you know, we take it as a joke. You know, they've already. Yeah, but we would like to say thank you to Mr. Alexis, Mr. Russell, and to the Ministry of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique for, you know, giving us a chance to be part of this course and for us to take it further, you know, to wherever we decide to part our ways to go.
And that story just ended the GIS news for today, Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Abigail McIntyre. Thank you for joining us.